was the stupidest thing ever. I loved it.
Like, okay, you're doing it. Here we go.
Hey everyone, how are you all doing? I hope you like the countdown because that's my favorite thing in the whole world.
I need like a 10-second version. 15?
Yeah, 30 seconds was too long.
30 seconds
Hi,
was
Shay.
too long.
Hey, that's you.
I had nothing else to do while we
Hey,
counted
Steph.
down. Hi, Steph. Hi, Shay.
My Siri keeps popping up. I don't understand what it's doing. Hello, how are you all doing? I am so excited to talk about Haven. Really I'm so excited to talk about Haven. Hey, how y'all doing? Shay, look at you. Look at you being sweet.
I have a watching the ads.
Eyeball.
Hello.
So, I guess we'll do non-spoilery thoughts really quick. Izzy, why don't you tell us what you thought about the book? Because I apparently have something in my eye, and it hurts really.
Hi,
really
I'm
bad.
Izzy from the channel Happy for Now. If you don't know me, I'm Tamika's BookTube big sister.
Yes, 100%.
See, you don't have it on. That's why I couldn't do it earlier today.
Oh, the dogs are growling.
Why are you doing that? Anyways, I'm at the channel Happy for Now. I talk about romance and manga now, which is weird, but we're doing it. It's happening. Yeah, and I actually picked this month's book kind of for you. We picked a theme, and I said, "Can we read one of my favorites, which is Haven?" And I love this book so much. I am debating if it's a 6-star all-time favorite book, although I would maybe not rate it a 5 out of 5. But I feel like it's an all-time favorite, possibly.
I really, really liked it. I really liked it a lot. I'm glad that you picked it. My complaint was there was too much steamy time. I'm joking. It was BDSM.
There wasn't that much for BDSM, really.
It really wasn't. There wasn't. I didn't think there was that much. This
is like one of the books that brought me back into the BDSM book world after like that burnout in like 2012, 2013, maybe. Like I read this and I was just floored. And the rest of the series, y'all, is really, really good. Cannot recommend it enough.
I loved it. It was really, really good.
They're chasing
after last down right now. I think you picked this book too for next month when we get to that part.
Mm-hmm. I did recommend it to you. I'm all knowing. Yeah, it does. Yeah. It has a steady plot, and I felt like it was nice because as soon as you start the book, you're in it. Like there's no lead up, and I like that personally. It's kind of like when you read a thriller and it's just like the crimes happened or is happening. I don't know. I find that enjoyable.
Yeah, what I really loved about it, and this isn't necessarily spoilers. This is just the beginning of the book. We'll talk non-spoilers and then we'll get into spoilery thoughts. But I really liked the way that Rebekah Weatherspoon like had the two characters go together and then like they had to have the time apart. So it wasn't like they immediately had a connection and like immediately started that relationship. I loved that. That was my favorite part about it. Like she gave them time.
I thought the use of time in the book was well done. Like you didn't like you had time with them, they had time apart repeatedly, and then they came back together to realize things. Yeah, I can imagine that. When Harbor came out this year, I had been waiting for it for like 2 years. I'm still waiting for Megan's story to come out too. Because she does get her own book.
I agree, Shay. 100%.
I'm just excited to have converted people to Rebekah Weatherspoon.
I love Rebekah Weatherspoon so much now.
I'm telling you, like not every book's gonna hit, right? But 99.9% of the time I find her books work for me, even if they're a 4-star or 3.5.
Yeah, I agree. I have read 4 or 5 books by Rebekah Weatherspoon so far now.
Mm-hmm.
And I've loved every single one of them in some way. Whether they've been like a 3.5 star to a 5 star, they've all been really, really great.
Yeah, I always enjoy my time with her writing. Harbor is possibly my favorite. She just retweeted fan art of it recently. Y'all, that fan art was so hot. Harbor is your poly relationship. It's a threesome with heavy BDSM themes. There's also murder in that one and a lot of healing around that trauma, and it's done so well. And it demonstrates a good poly relationship.
I think I just bought this one actually, but it had been on my TBR for a while.
Yay. I'll retweet it, Shay.
I thought it handled the taboo part pretty good, which is basically just people think BDSM's taboo.
I think, okay. I mean, I guess is it spoilery to talk about Sarah now? Do you want to wait? Do you want to talk about it?
Let's talk about it in just a second. Let's talk about, is there anything non-spoilery you want to talk about?
No, I just really love Shepard. Want to marry him. He's a little too tall for me, but I would still want to marry him. It's fine. Like 6'6" is a little too tall at my height. Things just don't work. But would marry. Do you have any non-spoiler thoughts?
No.
Okay, because like all I have is spoilers. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's all I've got now. So if you do not have, Phoenix just knocked the desk, like hit it, and everything fell off. So it's fine. Everything's okay.
Are you good?
We're all good. We're fine. She just ridiculous. Yeah, let's talk about the non-spoilery stuff. Or the spoilery stuff. So if you haven't read Haven, please go read it because it was delightful. I loved it a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Same.
Same.
I mean, me and Shay would really have to climb because we're shorties, but yeah.
I'm tall, so back off on the tall people because I need them.
Never. Yes. You've been very sweetie. Yeah, I'm under 5'5", so.
I'm 5'7".
I retweeted the fan art, and then I'll see if it'll let me drop a link. They did.
Okay. So I guess we can talk about why BDSM is taboo.
Yeah. So
why this book in particular is.
So I realize why you might think it's not that taboo, but I think it actually dissects some of the general society feelings about BDSM as in general, as far as it being more taboo, and that was shown through Sarah mostly, the ex-girlfriend fiance situation in which she like thought she could just fix him and that like the interest in and of itself was taboo. If you've spent time around the community, that's a pretty common thing that people think like they're broken for enjoying it, that you must have some trauma, something you have to get over. And while Claudia did have trauma, her trauma didn't actually relate back to anything sexual. It was a event in and of itself. And I know that Dallas is behind you talking, so I'll just keep going. Since he's literally screaming at you. But yeah, it really related back to her trauma around the murder, obviously, and not like her being raped or some sort of weird childhood situation, which is often what we see done in BDSM books, in my opinion, which is not accurate. And I felt Shep's journey personally to finding BDSM felt accurate and correct in what I'm aware of in that community.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people think that BDSM is taboo, and I feel like I couldn't focus on half of what you're saying because Dallas is up here just screaming. But I feel like a lot of people think that like BDSM in general, like, has to be used to, like, heal trauma. And, like, some people are just into
definitely
it.
seen
Like,
that
that's
said
just the
on
end of it.
YouTube,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
and I do not agree with it at all. Like, I think that people who have no trauma and people who have trauma can both equally enjoy BDSM. Or books with BDSM or anything like that. Dallas does have so many feelings on this book. He has so many of them. I think one thing that I want us to talk about specifically is that I feel like it's a really common conversation to say that BDSM is used to heal trauma. And I don't
100%.
really feel like that's the case.
It's not. I can tell you. I mean, and it happens. I'm not saying it's not used in that way. But yeah, I think I personally wanted to pick this one for BDSM because I think it's so hard to read BDSM books sometimes because they are just so over the top in a bad way. And I'm not saying they're fun. I'm not saying they're not. I enjoy them sometimes. Do not get me wrong. But I think it was for this, like, especially for Taboo Book Club, it was good to do an example that is like, this is how it should actually work in real life. It's not sign a contract and I'm going to do whatever I want to you. It's constant conversations. And it's constant like check-ins. And also, yeah, Claudia already liked rough sex and maybe was into BDSM light, not necessarily a flogger.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what worked with them was like you said about how they constantly checked in with each other and they're constantly having those conversations about what they're comfortable with and not. And I feel like there were times where she, talking about Claudia specifically, she didn't communicate enough, specifically
Agreed.
when they were in the woods, and she could have communicated with him.
100%. But also, I mean, to serve as a miscommunication, it worked fine, I feel like, because like obviously they're both in a messy spot in a weird way and dealing with some weird things around relationships, I feel like. So her running away wasn't like unexpected. And exactly, I really all of the Beards and Bondage series really heavily relies on communication, which I think, again, we do not see enough in BDSM books overall, because that is a key component of a relationship like that. That is part of that dynamic. And any part of that, those letters, that is part of that dynamic. There has to be, like, it's not good if there's not. There's a big problem.
The one thing that I was really happy about with this book specifically was how I feel like in every other BDSM book that I read, it feels so unrealistic. And like you said, it's fine. They're fun to read sometimes, but like at the same time, it pulls me out of the story to know how unrealistic it is. Like if you do like the smallest amount of research into BDSM, you're going to realize that it's not done right in some of them. And I feel like in this one, it was actually like Rebekah Weatherspoon is either in the community or she has done her research to like actually write it properly.
Yeah, she at the very least is on the outskirts of the community or friends with people in it. Because that's the hard part. Like, I mean, as much as I enjoy those books, sometimes I'm like, this is banana pants. Yeah, I thought so too. I felt like with what she was dealing with, her not communicating worked for me because I was like, well, she's obviously just like freaking out in general right now about life.
Yeah, I agree. Like she went through a ton of trauma and like it made sense why she freaked out.
Yes. Agreed. I really appreciated his initial like time together. He really made sure the aftercare like was handled, and then he definitely noted, like, you know, he felt bad, like he fucked up in the woods and stuff. Yes, I liked that too. He's just such a good hero. Like,
He is.
perfection. You know, I think a lot of people think they have to write doms that are overbearing and pushy.
Yeah, he was a soft dom, and I love that.
Whereas he is like a very quiet, but it's still there. You see it in him when like they're talking.
Yeah.
But it's not as like it's no Christian Grey. You're gonna do what I say.
Yeah. I feel like sometimes it feels like the heroine doesn't have a choice, especially if the heroine is a submissive.
Mm-hmm.
And it 100% felt like she had a choice the entire time.
Yes. I liked how I really, really, really loved. I forgot about how time was used in this book. I hadn't read it in 4 years. So I forgot. Like, I knew that there was time elements, but then I was like, oh yeah, that's right. She leaves for like a couple months and then comes back. And then she leaves again for a little while and comes back. Like, I don't know. I felt like it was so smart to not just like bulldoze through it, if that makes sense.
I don't feel like it would have worked if they would have done that.
I agree. Like, it would not have worked at all, but people do it all the time in books, unfortunately.
So what did you rate this, Izzy?
I gave it a 4.5 right now. But again, I'm contemplating if this is going to be a 6-star all-time favorite because this reread for me was just so good. And I forgot how much I like it. Which is probably a weird statement to be like, I rated it 4.5, but it might be an all-time favorite. But I think it might because I really love the series. Like, I'm very tempted to go reread all of them, like, this weekend.
We'll talk about the ending really quick. I adored the fact that she was just like, well, I lied to my boss and said that we were getting married. And the fact that he was just like, what are you talking about? And then she was just like, well, I don't remember what she said, but he said something about how the thing that sold him was being a stay-at-home dad. Mm-hmm. I thought that was cute.
Yeah, and I like that. So that time apart, I think is nice too in this because we didn't linger in it, if that makes sense. Like, I don't feel like we were overly in her head when she took her time away from Shep. The second time. About called it the third time. The second time. It was like just the right amount of like her and Liz talking. And Liz's book is next, by the way, y'all. She's book 2.
I like Liz. I would have liked maybe a little bit more length on it, but I feel like the length was really good on this one. Like, I was really content with it.
I was too. I actually get tired of BDSM books when they're like over 300, 325, and this was 228-ish. I think I just put it in my spreadsheet, so I remember the page count. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's hard. It's hard to find the right balance of length versus like time with the couple and story. I'm not sure what she could have added for the next one, like to make it longer. I don't know what else could have been added. That would have been beneficial. And Liz's book is next, which is Sanctuary. It's set in upstate New York. If you've read Zenny, it's in the same location as Zenny. And she's in Zenny, actually, with her like horde of children.
Liz is in Zenny?
Mm-hmm. Did you read Zenny?
Yeah, I did.
The Farm.
The Farm. Okay, I know what you're talking
Liz.
about now. I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah. Megan will be in the Zenny series books. Okay, I love the introvert discussion in this book because I really related to it. It's just like sometimes I just want to be in my house and I don't want to go anywhere. I just want to hang out at home. And like, that's okay. Like, I don't know. I appreciated it.
I hate leaving my house, so same.
Exactly.
I love Zenny. I thought Zenny was really fun. I recommend everything I've read from Rebekah Weatherspoon. Dallas is like the neediest dog in the whole world right now. I don't know what it's up with him.
Yeah, it's pretty wild that Zenny is. Yeah, that it crossed. It's nice. It's fun. I don't know.
How many of her books do that? How many of them cross like that?
Just this series, and then the loose ends crosses because the loose ends are like side characters that appear in other books that people wanted books about.
Okay.
So, Zenny obviously has some crossover because of the location. I don't know if Rafe has any crossover with any characters. I mean, she lives in LA. But, like, I know location-wise she overlaps. Yeah, I know that Zenny has it's the same town. Mason lives at the farm. Right? So, that's their farm in book 2.
So what did you all think of the book? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did it make you want to throw it across the room?
I hope it didn't make anyone want to throw it across the room, at least.
I don't think so. I think it was overall, it was a really good pick. It was a huge improvement from last month.
Look, I just wanted something I knew, like, I liked and that we could, like, talk about good BDSM with.
Yeah. I think that's the problem I have with, like, I've read some stuff where I'm just like, this is not it. Not even close to it. I didn't feel like that at all with this one. Can we please talk about did anyone read this with their Alexa app? Did they get anyone to read, like Alexa to read it to them?
Okay, but also everyone here is an introvert. Welcome to the club. We're all like, let's not leave the house. Okay.
I'm going to give it a 4-star. Dallas said he gave it a 4-star too.
He did.
In case anyone needs to know.
Veronica, I think if you had really high expectations for this one, you might like harbor more because it's polyamorous and it's even heavier on the BDSM. But again, it's also still a lot of healing around like cheating spouses and partners, not spouses, they were married, but cheating partners and murder. More murder. Time was also used in that one.
It wasn't as heavy as I thought it was going to be. Like it was, but it wasn't. Dallas said he said so too.
Deals with grief, but it's not like heavy-handed about it in a way, I guess. Like I think the opening is so heavy or feels heavy. And then the rest of it kind of tapers off into more internal issues.
This is definitely one I would, I don't know if I would reread it, but like I'm not a rereader.
I mean, it took me a couple years and I reread it and enjoyed it. So, oh my gosh.
I don't understand what he wants right now.
I don't either. Did he have dinner? Does he want to be held?
Probably.
Yeah.
I wanted a little bit more of the murder.
I was fine with it. He just came off a thriller.
Yeah, I did.
So maybe that's why you wanted more murder. I was good with it. I was like, this is just the right amount of attention to it.
I love that he was just like, I'm going to shoot this dude for you.
I do. I appreciate his lack of hesitation.
He's just like, if you come over here, I'm going to blow your brains out. And then he did. And I was like,
what else do you do in the woods, though? Like, I mean, truly.
I mean, I don't know. I think this is the smartest decision he could have made. I would have hesitated and
absolutely not.
Like not been able to function. I would have died.
No, I don't think I would have hesitated.
I would just panicked and like not been able to like aim.
It's a shotgun. You just point.
Just go boom.
Yeah, I mean it's a shotgun. It's not like you really got to aim it that much, right? Like,
oh my god, I know.
He
I
was
love the
such a
puppy.
good doggy.
I love dogs, as you can tell.
And
My
I love,
whiny
well, I
is
like
there.
when they're like, so often animals are like just forgotten in books. Do you
No,
know what I
and
mean?
he
Like,
was
they
so
show
there.
up.
I loved it. It was so cute.
It was like just the perfect amount. He was never like, I was never like, where's the dog? Who's taking care of the dog?
Yeah.
Yes, I appreciated his lack of hesitation. Again, he's a badass. He's a quiet, giant cinnamon roll badass. And
I loved that they took him on walks with them.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. I love dogs in books, especially when they're not like, ignored.
Yes. So the Alexa app, yeah, that was weird experience.
I listened to, I think 30% of it through the Alexa, like having Alexa read it to me. How much did you read of it, of her reading it to you? I say her, the app.
10 to 15% because I got creeped out by the voice changes.
The voices kept like, it was weird. It was like adjusting, and I was like, I don't understand what's happening here. But it made it really hard to focus.
Yeah, it was weird.
I love that. I have 2 dogs.
Just got the one.
Yeah, if I locked my dogs in the bathroom, I wouldn't have a door.
Angus would just go to sleep.
Dallas would, and then Phoenix would eat the door off. So, yeah, you can tell your Alexa app to read it to you, and she will.
She'll read up to 2 times speed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's as far as she'll go.
But it does work. I do it with like my just on the phone on an app. I don't even use like a Echo. Is that what they're called? The Echo things? Yeah.
Yeah, I think a Dot or an Echo, one of the two.
Yeah.
I read most of it just on my Kindle though. I think I read like 30% on the Alexa app. I love dogs. I love it.
Yeah, I mostly read it on the Kindle because that was not working for me. It was just such a quick read.
Yeah, it didn't feel like it took long at all to read it.
No, it was nice.
Do we have any more thoughts on the book?
Yeah, any questions? Anybody wants to talk about? I know it's a short one. I feel like there's not as much to discuss because like it's good.
Yeah. If it would have been bad, we would have been here for like 2 hours, but
yeah. I was trying to avoid
we
that.
actually had a good one. What, being here 2 hours or
yeah, being here 2 hours. Oh, that's too long. It's only been 30 minutes and I'm already out of my tiny wine.
I love dogs. I grew up around them, so.
I would 2 cats. I wouldn't want to add a dog either, though.
What was your favorite scene, Izzy?
It's a close tie between their first full scene together, like when she's gagged and stuff, and like that whole section, and then the ending when she like tells him he'd be a good stay-at-home dad in like 5 to 6 years, and like she rolls up and says, "This is what I want," because I love an assertive female character.
I love both of those scenes, but I also love the scene in the beginning where there's the murder.
I also like that scene too.
I think that's my favorite scene because he's just like, nope, no hesitation, and he just does it.
You live in the woods though, like you can't hesitate. If a bear comes at you,
you gotta
go.
Bang bang.
Real quick.
Facts, right there. That is it.
So it was everyone else's favorite scene. So Patty's was at the end. Shay, what was your favorite scene? You gotta share. You asked the question. Oh, he finally walked away. Like he gave up. Oh, her comment's not here yet. There it is.
I do just love the murder.
I like the murder too.
I think I should.
I think you need to read Whiteout by Adriana Anders.
Is there murder in it?
Yeah, and there's like a virus. It's great. It's great for right now.
Oh, I'm accidentally playing us. What am I doing? I'm sorry. I'm a mess. Trying to pull up the thing.
Oh, I'm over here like I liked the really good banging.
Oh, see? Steph also liked the murder.
No, I do too. I was just trying to pick further in the book than like the opening.
And I'm over here like the murder. That's what I liked.
Okay. That was good too.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a very Shay answer.
I also enjoyed the part where she sees the gun and she like freaks out.
Makes sense. Yeah, Maybelle and Jeb were, I love them and I appreciate them as characters and I think they were really well done and used well, but Jeb was 100% like, the first time I read it, he made me mad and he made me mad the second time. But I also remember her being, what do I want to call it? Like, I just enjoyed how they were set up as support for him since he didn't really have any, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And I liked the discussion about them not having kids and why and all of that situation as well. I thought that was kind of nice.
I feel like I missed that part of the conversation where the reason they didn't have kids because
his plumbing doesn't work.
Oh, see, I was trying to get the audiobook, or not, it wasn't an audiobook, but Alexa reading it. I think that's the part that it got.
So he said his plumbing didn't work and Maybelle would just tell people she couldn't have kids. Because it was like back in the day. And I was just like, that's really honestly, I don't know. I just think it's something we don't get in books enough, if that makes sense.
Like just the opposite way around?
Yeah, like he just can't have kids. Like his stuff don't work. No swimmers. Yes, I loved that they actually talked about what her job stuff and her leaving. I can't imagine going back to a job and having to be the girl that almost got murdered.
Yeah. Yeah. Would agree.
It's just a steamy book.
It is. There's too much banging for the BDSM book. I texted Izzy that earlier, and I was just like, I'm going to say that there was too much banging in this book.
But there's not that much.
There's not. There's really not.
It's pretty light on it, honestly. I actually thought there was more. Yeah. Actually, I recalled there being more, but I was wrong. I mean, if she was positioned correctly, it could work. I mean, I would never. Hell no.
Oh my God, yeah. I was like, no, absolutely not.
But it did crack me up the next time they went and she just did it and he was like, no. No. And in a Waffle House, like, I imagine that this diner is a little cleaner than a Waffle House, and I love my Waffle Houses. Like, I have one like literally 5 minutes from my house. Love Waffle House. Can tell a lot about a person by their hash brown order. And no way. That place is not clean enough to have anything out and not fully covered. Besides for right now during COVID.
Yeah. I no thank you. No thank you. That it just I don't understand why you would this comment right here. I also had secondhand embarrassment. I was like, why are we doing this? Put the girls away.
I'm fine with it when it's like in a book. Real life, absolutely not, because you never, ever, ever should bring the world into your kink. That is not appropriate. They did not consent. Isn't that the one with Shibari, Shay? Because I know I want to read it, because I want to read more Shibari BDSM books.
I think that's a good point too. About not having other people and you're like brought into your kinks without consent. Because some people just do it out in public.
Mhm.
And I don't understand why.
Yeah. It's a really important thing to keep in mind, I guess. I'll read it, and it's fine to read, but if I saw it in public, I would be extremely uncomfortable.
I feel like that's why I don't like it in the book. Because if it were happening in real life, I would have been like, no, thank you.
I just like to think that it doesn't happen. I mean, I know it does. Okay, like, look, I know. But I like to think it doesn't because I like to think that more people are aware of the fact that you can't just, like, take your kink out. Although that's not true because I've seen videos of people on leashes in the grocery store and other things in which they bring everyone into their kink without consent. And that's, like, super duper not okay. Super duper not okay. Exactly.
Yeah,
that's the whole
100%.
consent thing. Definitely the whole consent thing. Yeah, I mean, look, I know it does happen. I like to have my blinders on a little bit that it doesn't, because yikes. Yikes on bikes.
I think that's why it was so embarrassing for me, because I was just like, no, can we not do this? Because I've seen so many videos of that's just happening in public, and I'm like, I'm gonna need all
Well,
of
I
this.
feel like what I've seen in public is more like
obvious.
Yeah, like leashes and like walking on all fours situations.
Yeah.
Things like that. Not like you know, like not like this. Like, I don't know. And I know it happens. I know people that worked in movie theaters and would get asked what theater's empty and other things. So
yeah. Charles said that he gave the book 5 out of 5 stars.
Wow, Charles. I'm so thrilled you loved a book I love. We aligned. Although we've been aligning on IAD a lot, so
I liked it. I thought it was really good. I'm really glad that you suggested this one and we picked it.
Yeah, I am too. I just knew. I knew it would be good. We did all just finish A Court of Silver Flames, Charles. I hope you're surviving with this onslaught of Sarah J. Maas news. Yes, Sabine Isbay. I love Sabine.
All right. Well, do you have any final thoughts on the book before I announce the co-host and the book and the trope for next month?
Wait, what? I'm not on forever in eternity?
Are we doing the thing that Heather did?
Yeah, I'm just playing. No, I think that's it. I loved this book. I just love it. I really, again, if you enjoyed it or you kind of liked it, maybe you unsubbed a lot this week.
Yeah.
I can't recommend exploring the rest of the series enough, honestly. The next one is, I think Silas is the hero's name, and he's a very quiet guy. A lot of dogs, like 6 dogs, I think, actually. And what else? Then Harbor, is your polyamorous. So if you liked this at all, read the rest. More me. See, they demand it. Yes, read IAD. My favorite.
I really like this one too. I love it a lot.
I hope you read the rest of the series soon.
I will continue the rest of the series. I probably won't right now, but I will be reading it. Did you just put in the comments, Charles? Like, I'm gonna DM you, Izzy. I'm not gonna tell anyone else what's going on. He said to DM him.
Okay, do you want me to where? Discord, IG, where's your preferred place? Like, I have 3 chats with you. They do. I agree. I think all of these books get better with each one.
Okay, well, like, I don't have the co-host waiting in the shadows this time like we did last time. So anyway, the next month's pick is going to be Mafia Romances, and it's going to be 30 Kisses by Kenya Wright, and the co-host is going to be Ashley from Bookish Realms. So I don't know if y'all know who Ashley is, but she's amazing. I don't know how you don't know who Ashley is. I love her so much.
I'm so excited.
I'm very excited for Ashley to be the co-host.
And I'm excited for Dirty Kisses. I love that book.
I also love that book. I've already read it, and I'm going to be rereading it. So I'm very excited. And I actually think that a lot of people are going to love this one too. So that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping everyone loves it.
Mm-hmm.
Me too. I love Ashley. I love Ashley a lot. It is really good. I love it.
It's definitely like in my favorite Mafia books. I'm going to reread it for this and then continue the series.
Okay, so the live show in this one, we haven't picked a date yet, but it will be most likely the last weekend in March. So between the 26th and the 28th of March. But I have to check with Ashley for sure on the date and time. But I will put it in the Discord. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to try to have the date picked and set in stone this week. That way we don't have another situation where we picked like last minute.
Well, we messed up our dates, so it's fine.
Yeah, we messed up the date, so.
Because we forgot about the live show tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be really good. Ashley's going to be a great conversation on this. I feel like she's going to have a lot of good opinions and takes on that book.
Mm-hmm. She will, 100%.
Yeah, if you haven't read it yet, it's so fun. Kenya Wright.
This is also in Hoopla, if y'all have Hoopla. With the audiobook. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's on Scribd. I'm going to look really quick. I want to say it is on Scribd. It is. So if you all want to read it on Scribd, it's also on there.
Yay! So, all the places.
So there's audiobook options this time. It is so good, Shay.
It's a good audiobook. Bye, Steph.
Bye, Steph. All right. Well, do we have any closing comments before we wrap this up?
No. Thank you for having me. This was fun. I'll come back again sometime, maybe. Maybe you can harass me into it. I don't know. Not.
I'm so excited for you to read it. I'll make you read a really bad one next time.
No. Absolutely not. I refuse.
But you're so funny.
Oh, God.
Okay. Well, thank you all for coming. I'm really happy that you all were here.
Maybe
I'm really happy you all came out. And I'm excited for next month.
Have a good Friday.
Yes. We'll see you all next time. We'll be in the Discord. All right. Good night, everyone.
Are you hitting the button?